Good morning, guys. So here's what you're going to be doing today. You need to not only finish your court system vocab, so there are 8 of you that are not done with that. You need to finish that first. Again, you're going to want to use the business law book in the back of the room. That will probably be the easiest way for you to get that vocab done in the easiest way possible. Remember, we're in chapter 2, which is the court systems, and we will go from there. Now, once you are done with that, remember the last time we were in class, you guys are going to be teaching the class about a certain topic for the court systems. So with that being said, here are your topics. They are also on Google Classroom for you to watch. So you have your list of topics on the left-hand side, and you have your partners here on the right-hand side. Now, if you were not in class last time, you were placed with somebody, and that's what you are kind of stuck with for this time around. Now, with that being said, you need to work with your partner, and you need to work with your partner nicely, and you need to share the work. Divvy it up somehow, whether or not you both work on everything together or you kind of split the topic up part and part. Either way, you guys can figure that out yourselves. Now, remember, with a Google presentation, you can share that and both be working on it at the exact same time. So you don't necessarily need to sit next to the person, or you don't necessarily need to talk to that person after you kind of split your duties apart. You will be grading your partner based on the amount of work they do. So if your partner slacks off and you end up doing all of the work or most of the work, then make sure that when you evaluate your partner, you are open and honest about what's going on. What you say is completely confidential. Obviously, I see how you're working in class on this, and we'll get a report, I'm sure, on how you guys are working since I'm not there today. You will find all of these topics in the book, and all you have to do is kind of look through and see where they're at. You also have a rubric here. So this is all about when you're teaching in front of the class. Are you prepared and ready? Remember that any materials you need, whether it be a Kahoot up on the board, whether you need copies for an activity or you need certain materials for an activity, you need to let me know as soon as possible. That way I can go about getting those for you. The second part is, do you understand what you're teaching? Do you actually know the material, or are you just reading it right off the screen? Is everything complete? Are you covering everything in the book? Are you talking about other things that are interesting in that same area and doing a little bit of extra research? Practice. Do you actually have a way for the students to practice what you're teaching? You don't want to just lecture the entire time and not have an activity to go along with it. Is it interesting and fun? Is it something that is an easy way? The more interesting and fun it is, the more apt that you guys are to remember the information. That's why I try to make things fun, interesting, doing different activities. And finally, how creative are you? Are you just doing a presentation and then doing a note sheet, or are you doing maybe a Kahoot for your activity, and you're going to lecture first and then do a Kahoot after? Don't just start with an activity. You need to make sure that you give the class their understanding of the material before you actually get started into an actual activity. At the very bottom of this rubric here, there are some just key things you might want to talk about, any vocab terms that are in your section. Again, those different terms, there might be some other things that are helpful to know or understand that aren't necessarily vocab terms within your section. Talk about how your topic works. How does, if you have, for example, the jury and how jury trials go, talk about how that works, how everything is chosen, how to go about that. There's some other things there that obviously you can look through and things you need to do. Now there are some different sites down here at the very bottom that might be helpful to you. There's some U.S. courts, there's some federal court ones, Wisconsin courts, and some different sites that you may want to take a look at before you decide that you're done. the more information you have and the better information that you have and how you're teaching it is going to reflect in your grade for this project. There's no major project for this unit, at least not something like a presentation. However, you want to make sure that you have the most information that you can. That way your grade will reflect that. If you have questions going forward, my email is on the board. Obviously, you probably already have it in your emails as well. If you have a question, just email me, and if I'm available, I will get back to you. Otherwise, have fun with this. This is meant to be a different and new way to help you learn and remember the information while kind of switching it up instead of hearing from me the entire time while we're doing this. If you have questions, just ask. If you need some ideas, you can always look things up on the internet. Use your resources around you. Have a great day.